Just cleaned all this. Damn it. Insidious dirt creeping into the nooks and crannies. I just cleaned, I just mopped. Ah. How many times? Are you kidding me? Where is this coming from? I'm gonna go insane. I do not like dirt. I do not like it. Better not get on the floor. Okay, if there's any more dirt, I will lose my mind. Oh, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally with things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a Sunday Stuff and Things. And on this Sunday Stuff and Things, we have stuff and things to talk about, including upcoming videos, things that you can look forward to on Stuff and Things and working. Then we're going to talk about enjoying your pipe on the go. As you know, I've moved recently. I no longer have a good place like a nice porch or an indoor place to enjoy my pipe. So pretty much every time I have a pipe, it has to be when I'm out and about, maybe in my vehicle, when I'm on the job, maybe go to a park. So I pretty much always have to have a on-the-go pipe kit. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Not the kit specifically, because I'm going to be doing a video about that coming up soon, but just the experience of enjoying your pipe on the go. Get into that. I'm going to want your feedback about that as well. And then we will have your questions, comments, and feedback in hashtag #AskStuffandThings. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so what can you look forward to on Stuff and Things and working? Well, first of all, this coming week we will have the full review of Rattray's Marlin Flake. An interesting blend, one that I don't want to give anything away, but I was sort of ambivalent about this. There were some positives and some negatives, so watch that full review. It's coming up this Wednesday. The following week, we will have a review of this, the Domke F10, what is it called again? It's the F10 medium shoulder bag. This is a little camera bag that I've been using literally every single day. I do not leave the house without this bag now because I take a camera with me everywhere I go, no matter where I go. So I got this off of eBay. I think it's been 2.5, maybe 3 months now since I got it. And I have been using it literally every day since then. I absolutely love it. And so I did a review of that. That will be coming up not this week, but the week after. And then we're going to be talking about my on-the-go pipe kit, all the things I bring with me when I want to enjoy my pipe out of the house. So lots of good stuff coming up on Stuff and Things. And then on working, I posted working episode 26 last Friday, I believe. And it's a really interesting one. It was pouring some very complicated steps, concrete steps that are all floating, had to pour them all at once. 3 levels, and then like a 3-foot landing. Very complicated, a huge hassle to set up and a huge hassle to pour, but I think really interesting. If you want to watch that, please, if you have not checked out my other channel, Working, I really think you'll like it. I think it'll be interesting to you. It offers a glimpse of something that most people don't really know anything about. You live in a house. That house had to be built at some point, and it probably involved concrete. And you probably don't know too much about how that concrete got there. So if you watch Working, you will see some very interesting things about pouring concrete and just construction in general. So check that out. There is a link in the description box below. Give it a like, give it a follow, subscribe, watch the videos. I want to turn it into something. Let's make it into something. Oh, also, I have a link in the description box below. Might as well give you guys some homework to my photography-centered Instagram account. I've been posting on that very regularly, probably 5 to 6 times a week or 5 to 6 days a week. So if you want to see some cool photography, or if you just want to help out your friend Bradley, follow the at Bradley A. Victor Photography Instagram account, link in the description box below. Okay, end of homework. Printer is not offline. Can you work, please? Just print the page, please. Print! It's not offline. I just reconnected the printer. Stop. Okay. Let's go to system settings. Let's go to printers and scanners. Let's go to this. Okay, it's on. The printer is there. What? Now it says offline. Why? Why did you go offline suddenly? I'm gonna lose my mind. Technology makes the world so much more convenient, doesn't it? Okay, rebooting printer. Printer waking up. Please work, for God's sake. Hello? It's not offline. It's not offline. I just did it. Okay, remove. Printer. Default printer. Last printer used. Okay, wake up. I'm gonna lose my freaking mind here. Print, printer, HP Envy series. Print. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. You son of a... Okay. So, as many of you know, I recently moved and I no longer have a good place where I can hang out undercover and S my P. And so I've always taken an on-the-go pipe kit with me because I'm usually enjoying it in my vehicle, on the job, when I'm doing construction and things like that. So I always have a kit, but lately pretty much every time I'm enjoying a pipe, it has to be outdoors or on the go. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. We're not going to talk about the kit because I'm doing a specific video about that. I already mentioned that in the upcoming videos section of the show. But just in general, what is it like? First of all, I'd like to know how many of you, if you're enjoying your pipes, do you primarily have to enjoy them outdoors or away from the home? Or are most of you able, do you have a room? Do you have full access to the house? Do you have a room in the house? Do you have a covered porch? Where are you enjoying your pipe? For me, it's primarily in my vehicle. I do go to parks occasionally, or I might just take a walk and enjoy the pipe, but pretty much in my vehicle, which isn't really a problem because it's not like cigarettes. It lingers, but it doesn't smell as bad as stale cigarette smoke smells. It smells kind of pleasant to me because I like the smell of pipes, obviously. People who say that it dissipates and that you won't smell it, you'll smell it. It does linger in there, especially if you do it often, but it just doesn't smell as bad as cigarettes. One huge problem I have here living in the Pacific Northwest is that it rains a lot. And pretty much from, I don't know, September to May, it rains in the Pacific Northwest. And obviously we'll have days here and there where it's not raining, but even when it's not technically raining, there will often be just this kind of drizzly mist in the air. It's wet. it's always very wet. And so it's hard to go outside if you're not in a covered area and enjoy a pipe. There are certain things you can do to alleviate that. There are little wind caps that also kind of help as a rain cap. But it's just not super conducive. And then the other big thing is, especially where I live in Bellingham, Washington, there's always wind pretty much all the time. And this isn't Chicago, or this isn't, I don't know, the Midwest with gale force winds going through, even though gale force winds do occur occasionally. But especially near the water, there's always at least a breeze, and often more than a breeze. Enough wind that it's going to blow your hood back and ruffle your hair, and also make it difficult to enjoy a pipe outdoors. Again, there are those wind caps, there are windproof lighters, there are things you can use, but if you combine wind and rain and you're trying to have a pipe outdoors, if you're just walking around on the sidewalk or enjoying sitting on a park bench in a park, makes it pretty tough. So vehicle is pretty much my primary way of enjoying a pipe when I am on the go. What about you guys? Do you have a garage? Do you have a porch, a covered porch? If you are mostly essing your pee when you are on the go, where do you do that? And how do people react to you? A lot of people have asked me about that. And I have to say, thinking back, I don't think I have had a single negative reaction to me essing my pee, whether it be in a park or on a sidewalk or wherever I may be, even though it's technically illegal for you to ess a pee in a park here in my city. Nobody ever says anything. And if anything, I think I've had at least a few positive interactions where people have commented positively on the pipe, and never any negative reactions whatsoever. So even though it's not as convenient to enjoy my pipe when I'm on the go, it's definitely doable. There are just things you have to work around. More often than not, I'm going to be in my car. If I'm not in my car, I'm just walking down the street or sitting in a park, and I pretty much get away with it. Never really have any negative reactions. So I just love to hear your comments about this. How difficult is it for you to enjoy your pipe on the go? Do you primarily enjoy your pipe on the go, or are you primarily doing it at home? I'd just like to take a little survey and see how everybody is interacting with this hobby. All right, gang, but now it is time for hashtag #AskStuffandThings. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, you can tweet. Still don't know what it's called now on X. I never use X. I just read your questions or comments on there if you have left me one on there, but most of you don't use it anymore anyway. Or you can write to me via Patreon and go right to the front of the line if you are a Patreon supporter. You can also hit that super thanks button under this video and go right to the front of the line. Or you can leave questions, comments, and feedback under my YouTube videos in the YouTube comment section. First, via Patreon, we have a question from Dr. Dre, or more feedback from Dr. Dre regarding my last week's question on the Sunday Stuff and Things about your first non-aromatic. Dr. Dre says, and thank you for being a supporter, Dr. Dre. Hey Bradley, regarding your last week's question for the first non-aromatic, mine was Elizabethan mixture, of all things. I had actually really gotten into pipe essing, or he actually said P-essing, in 2018, which, if you recall, was the year that McClelland closed and Dunhill stopped manufacturing the blends under their name. I do recall it. Wasn't it 2017? Can't remember. 2017 for Dunhill, 2018 for McClelland. I'll have to look back at my videos. I wasn't able to acquire any more of it until Peterson acquired the rights. Still enjoy it to this day, but I understand why so many in the pipe community like to hoard tea. I wish you the best of luck going forward, and I hope you find a good place to ess your pee in your new place. Thank you, Dr. Dre. Next, we have some feedback from last week's Sunday Stuff and Things via YouTube. First of all, we had so many comments. The viewer to comment ratio, or the comment to viewer ratio, was insane. I think, I don't know, there's like 150, 180 comments. Crazy amount of comments. A lot of people sharing their first non-aromatic. A lot of people had Orlik Golden Slice. I would have to say, I mean, it wasn't a huge majority, but if you counted up all the popular vote, I think Orlik Golden Slice was probably the most popular. But there were a lot of other interesting things as well. We had at Shock and Awe, our good friend Scott M with the super thanks, thank you very much, who said, my first non-aromatic was EMP, early morning pipe. I didn't care for it then, and still don't. Following your journey to replace Elizabethan was my real eye-opener, and I've enjoyed various vapors since. Cheers. That's cool to hear, because for me that was a really interesting sequence as well, just really trying to drill down about what I liked about Elizabethan and how to get that from another blend. Was it really the specific flavor profile? Was it the mechanics? What was it that I really loved so much about Elizabethan? And that kind of helped me understand more what I liked about other blends as well. So cool. We have, I keep hearing that. I'm trying not to do that, but I keep doing it. We have at Chris, wait a minute, at Chrisinus 6091, I'd say Prince Albert. Then once I had Gaworth and man, I'm really having trouble reading today. Then once I had Gaworth and Hogarth Dark Flake, I never bought Captain Black again. So you started out on kind of drugstore blends and then got into Gaworth and Hogarth, which is very nice. We have at Tommy Hale, who said, I believe that my first non-aromatic blend was actually Elizabethan mixture, per heavy influence from your videos. Thank you, I've done my job. And it's still one of my all-time favorites. Good to hear. At Thorgrim 2010 says, Elizabethan mixture forever. At World of Warcraft 011, Frogmorton's Cellar. That was another very common one, or just the whole Frogmorton series by McClellan. A lot of people mention those. At Edward Newland 9724 said Dunhill Nightcap, which would have been an interesting first non-aromatic. We have at Bannockburn 111. I started essing a pea in what is probably a very common way, going into a tea store in a mall and buying an inexpensive pea and getting some Captain Black off the tea bar. The guys in the shop were cool and I took to hanging out there often. Eventually went to work there part-time and tried a number of blends off the bar. They had many and you could just fill up your pea and try anything for free. Eventually I tried this stuff called Dunhill 965, another popular choice, which they had on the bar. This was my first non-aromatic blend and I never went back. So my first ever non-aromatic was 965. After that, I started buying tins and discovered McClellan's Oriental number 14, which was my favorite tea for a long time after that. Really cool, and really cool that you had a shop like that. And then finally, at Miguel Manara 3, one of the only times I will post on YouTube, but I would like to thank you for your tea reviews. You're welcome. I thoroughly enjoyed every one of them. They are organized well, and I enjoy the fact that you spend a decent amount of time before expressing your thoughts. Keep them coming. My first non-aromatic experience, Dunhill My Mixture 965, Est in a Big Ben Oxford 252, the second pea I bought. All thanks to your review and that of Matches 860, or 860, you have to say that properly. All those years ago, which I randomly found on YouTube while researching PT, that sounds weird, pipe tea, and which ultimately convinced me to try a non-aromatic. Before that, I occasionally est MacBaron Vanilla Loose Cut from 16 years of age in a Savinelli Punto Oro Bent Billiard, my first pipe, and Scottish mixture, which already was a step up from the vanilla, but I mainly est cigars. P.S.ing changed my life for the better, mainly due to the meditative aspect of the hobby. But it also opened up a whole new world of flavor and taste experiences. Thanks again, and God bless. You are welcome, and thank you for the feedback. Then we have some feedback from the Improving the Water Flow in Your Faucet video, which I know is a weird video, but I just thought it would be really interesting because it's something that so many people would never think of, and it's such a simple way to improve your quality of life in a weird way. If you're sitting there trying to wash your hands in your bathroom faucet and there's just this tiny trickle of water, that's irritating. That adds time to your day, and this just is a very simple, very easy fix for that. That's why I posted the video. We had at Ledger and Lace, that's Hallie's Ledger and Lace. I didn't realize they were called aerators or that there were different options for gallons per minute. Good to know. Stuff and Things indeed. Cool 80s mall vibe opening, by the way. And that's exactly what I was going for with the video, so thank you for that feedback. Then we have at Lone Wolf 52377. You should change the channel name to Stuff and Things We Never Think About Doing. LOL. Great job, Bradley. And then finally at Chris Portislander 2458, is this the beginning of a new series? Professional knowledge broken down for us laymen to help with everyday problems. I love it. Plus, no connection to a certain wonderful fragrant yummy leaf, so this one can be monetized. Thank you, Chris. It's probably not a new series. It was part of the How to Do Stuff and Things series. It's not particularly professional knowledge either. I'm not a plumber. That's not my area of expertise, but if there's something that I know about that I think will be useful, then I might throw that in the How to Do Stuff and Things series. Thank you for all the feedback. Please keep it coming in. It really helps make the show go. I love hearing from you. I like getting questions, comments, and just knowing what you think about the videos that I post. So please keep all that coming in. But now, gang, it is time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. Remember, your support on Patreon is basically what helps make this channel possible. The fact that I can record these videos, that I can purchase supplies for making the videos, products to review. It does cost money to keep this going, and also it costs a lot of time. And so your support is a huge factor in allowing me to keep making the content that you like to watch. So if you would like to support the channels on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below. We are still on a drive to get 100 $5 supporters. $5 a month. Unfortunately, the cost of a cup of coffee now, have you noticed that? I went and got drip coffee the other day and it was $5. Ridiculous. So for the cost of overpriced coffee, you can support this channel for a month. Link in the description below. But every week we like to shout out those who support the channels at $25 or more a month. The producers of this show, if you will. People like Glenn Dunnington, Jason Buckner, Ryan McFadin, Arcturus, Ashes of the Phoenix, Jonathon Proctor, Kyle Waitkunas, ConCoClem, Charles Mowers, and Friendly Piper. And of course, the Maniacs, the crazy people who support the channels at $100 a month, people like Bob Magee. And we'll never forget our dearly departed friend and Hall of Fame member, Peter Straub. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you all so much for watching, commenting, all that good stuff, subscribing, sharing, following my photography Instagram at Bradley A. Victor, going to working, watching, subscribing, liking, all that stuff as well. Please stay tuned for the Marlin Flake full review coming up this week. The week after, the Domke F10 shoulder, medium shoulder camera bag, whatever, that review coming up. The on-the-go pipe kit video, and then working episode 26 is out now, so check that out as well. But until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things on a Sunday, Stuff and Things. I'll see you later. Okay.